Clara. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8. Coming up.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8. The 27-yard line.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance. Reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
And, Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Remember, these two teams met earlier in the year in Santa Clara with the Niners coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
This defense for the Niners, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game. And I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible. But we watched it happen.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
Picked off by Casey Hayward.
And the Niners are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big play that time on the catch and run.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3 yard line, you got to love the effort, and especially...
Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
This is Gordon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. Carson, the first down and more. And down to the 28-yard line. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Going for it all. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Off of play action, here's Lance. This one caught by Kittle. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. On second down, Gordon once more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 55 rushing yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
On first down, Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Casey Hayward. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now goal for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right?
On second down, Gordon once more.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
This is fielded at the 7. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
He's got Ayuk once again. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Lance now on first down. He'll buy some time right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It was Melvin Ingram that time who shot in to bring him down. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Wilson down around his goal line. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
Throwing is Wilson. That's complete. It's Carson out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
2nd and 10. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They go play action with Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This will be taken at the 10. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Well, these two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4, and it was the visiting Niners who won that ball game, so they'll look to make it a clean sweep here at home in Santa Clara. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
That'll be complete to Sermon. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake. Lance. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. To throw, it's Lance. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Lance now on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Here's 2nd and 10. And Lance now to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. 27 yards on the gain there. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Gold is good. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Lance, a give now to Sermon, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run once more with Sermon. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Play action. Now it's Lance. Completes it to Samuel. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime in trying to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. On 2nd down now, it's Mitchell. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Now it's Patterson. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Now, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Shotgun now for Lance. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a handoff, Sermon. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
It's 3rd and 7.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Being chased out left. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a first down. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Throwing now is Lance. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
On play action, Lance. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
He'll find Sermon out of the backfield. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Lance looking to throw it. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
Here's Sermon. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And it's caught. Touchdown. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now it's Patterson. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson.
And this will go to Carson out wide.
And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So Wilson heads to the sideline, and on comes Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he's got room. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big play there on the catch and run. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they faked the handoff. Now Lance. They'll find Ayuk open right side.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Lance looks to throw again. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Here's Lance. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Niners appear to be headed to a 9-1 start as they extend their fourth-quarter lead. Gold with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get high.
Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth. The drive starts with a carry by Sermon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Looking for right, and he finds him. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, Sermon. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Sermon. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Off of play action, here's Lance. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. It's caught inside the 25. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Gold to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play. But let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on 3rd down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there.